Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. I am going to try to put together a really fast video tonight. I'm trying to make my move from YouTube to Rumble, and so I don't know if I'm going to put any other videos up on Rumble or not. From YouTube, I've pretty much taken most of them off of YouTube. I've been struggling with it. So this is Scrapbooking with a Twist, and the twist is I always do some kind of little devotional or something. So tonight I'm going to be scrapping. The main thing I'm going to be scrapping is this picture of two of my little grandsons that the day they started to this little Mother's Day Out program at a church here in our community. And then these are just a couple of pictures of that same little grandson, one of those little grandsons that he's playing with his dad, and then he's eating his supper. And so I'm going to scrap those three pictures, and I'm going to cover this one little sweetie's face right quick, because we don't put these kiddos out on YouTube or Rumble or anything. This is my daughter's little boy, and so we don't put him out there. But anyway, this is what we're going to do tonight. This is, I'm going to kind of use a little preschool, because it was a little preschool. So I'm going to kind of use a little preschool design. I've done a little bit of the prep work, so this can go a little faster. I'm going to use this little print paper that has school stuff all over it, and see if I can get it on here. I put a little yellow border just to try to divide that from the rest of that green. It has that green in it. It just kind of seemed to melt into it without that little border. So I did put that little yellow border along there. A tiny, tiny bit of ink along those edges too. Now I've got my helper over here, my Doberman, that wants to help me do my layout. I don't really think I need her right now. Hey, get back, get back, get back, get back. So, let's just, I'm going to put this little scrap of this other school paper right under the edge there. She's knocking my arm around. Right under that edge, so that it looks like it runs the length of the paper, even though it doesn't. Do this other one the same way. I hope everybody's doing well. We finally got some rain yesterday. Glad to do that. We needed rain so badly. So bad. My yard is just dry, dry, dry. I've been having to water my flower beds, but I just can't afford. I'm on city water, and I just can't afford to water my yard. It just has to be what it is. Let's get this picture on there, then we can kind of do everything from there, I think. There we go. I think I want to kind of build off of that a little bit. This is kind of what I had laid out. We'll just see how this goes. These little preschool things I'm kind of trying to bust my stash. I have had some of this stuff for so long. I just wanted to kind of use some of it and get some of it out of my drawers. So I'm kind of thinking I'm going to build a little cluster like that, and then one there. I've got this little preschool I'm thinking I may put right up there. And then I've got some more crayons that I can build with. Maybe from that down there. Anyway, that's kind of what I think this is where I'm going with this. So let's go ahead and put these down. I am trying to finish up this little grandson's first scrapbook. And what I call his first scrapbook is that I do a scrapbook for the first one that's born up until the next one is born. And so he was about 2.5 when his little brother was born. So I'm trying to get that first 2.5 years done up to when his little brother was born. And I've just about got it. It's not totally complete, but I've just about got it. I love this. It's a little chipboard, but it has this little juice box on it, so I thought that was pretty cute to go there. So I'm going to do that. I've got my journaling. I may need to cut it down just a little. I think I want to, let's see if it'll fit here. I may need to cut that down just a little bit. I may cut it in the shape of these. It's kind of got these little parentheses things. Not parentheses. I don't know what these are called, actually. But anyway, I'm going to cut it in this shape, I think. Just kind of very loosely. Just kind of. I don't know what those are called. If you know what those are called, just put it in the comments. And I don't know what they're called. I've called them bookends. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, this is how we're going to roll with this. I don't want anything real exact, because it's kind of, like I said, it's a preschool layout, so it doesn't need to be exact anywhere. Okay, let's, I've got some stuff that I can put there. Let's get this trash out of here. Let's get this down and then kind of work toward this other. I know I want these stars under here. It kind of is some bases for my little clusters. And I know I want this preschool right up here. So let's get those things down. I was hoping this would just fall together really quickly. Let me go ahead and do the little twist while I'm kind of just gluing some of these things down. My verse tonight is going to be from Philippians, and it's chapter 4, verse 6. And it says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God." And I was doing a study on worry. And, you know, our times are just a little tough right now. And so I was doing this little study on worry. And I came across this. And I just thought, you know, that's the perfect thing to talk about, something just short. We should not worry. And it says to be anxious in nothing. Just to be anxious in nothing. Just to take it before God with prayer and supplication and thanksgiving. And I think the key there is the thanksgiving. Because we have got to, when we pray, we need to pray worshipful prayers. And so here we are in these times that are hard. I mean, they're hard times, there's no doubt. They're confusing and they're scary at times. And so when we pray our prayers, we need to remember to thank God. There are things in our lives, no matter how crazy things are right now, there are things in our lives that we should be thankful for. Our families, our health, even if our health has had problems, that we have jobs, that we have food on our tables. I mean, there's just so much to be thankful for. And so we need to remember in our prayers to pray with thanksgiving and to be anxious in nothing and to pray those worshipful prayers with thanksgiving. And so that was just kind of my thought for tonight, to remember that, yes, we ask for things. Always we ask for things. the Bible tells us that the storehouse is empty because we don't ask. But we have to be sure that we're being thankful in the process of those prayers. And thankfulness is worshiping God. That's telling him how awesome he is and thanking him for things that we have no control over, the things in our lives, and he does. So everything that's good is from him. So just remember to pray with thanksgiving, and that will help us not worry, help us not be anxious about anything. Okay, so I've got this little section down here and I think that's probably about all I'm going to do. I'm just kind of playing with these little crayons of all different kinds that I'm putting on here. And then I'm going to work on this a little bit. This apple is kind of going to be the foundation for this little cluster up here. So let's get that on there. And then get our journaling. And then we're going to get that little bear on there. I still got another crayon or two. That's my dogs. Anytime I start to try to video, they start playing, and it can get rather loud. Let's see. Get my little bear on there. And our juice box. Maybe even a crayon coming out from under there. You're getting your nose right up here in our business, aren't you? What are you chewing on? My dogs get into everything, so she's chewing on that. Okay, I hope that wasn't on camera with me digging that piece of paper out of her mouth that she's chewing on. Okay, get back. I don't need help right now. Yes, let's get your nose out of here. Let's get these things down before she turns the table over. I love this little picture of the two of them going into preschool. The only picture I like that's even better than that one is this little grandson was in a program they called LEAP. It was actually he was in it for some speech therapy. And the first morning that he went to his first little, it was called LEAP, his first little LEAP class, his mom takes him and she's taking a picture, you know, as she takes him in, and he waves, and he just looks like such a big boy waving at her goodbye. I love it. Okay, let's see. This dog that keeps trying to turn my table over and throw my arms so I'll pet her is my, she's a Doberman, and she's just turned a year old, and she's pretty spoiled. Let's see if we can get this little juice box here with our little bear. Yes. Let's see. I don't need your help. The only thing I'm not truly satisfied with is this. I guess it's okay. I think we're going to go with it anyway. All right. So like I said, I kind of had this laid out so we could just do a really fast video. And, oops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I have to get my tweezers out. I didn't mean for that to go under there. There we go. There we go. We were supposed to get more rain than I think we got. A little bit helped, but I was thinking tonight it was supposed to rain again. Okay, I think we're just going to go with this. It's simple. It is nothing particularly outlandish and wild, but it documents their little first day of their little preschool. I've got my little grandson in his high chair and he and his daddy playing. I've got my journaling, and I think it's kind of cute, and so it's going to go in the books. And by the way, I did, this was an older sheet that's been thrown around in my files for a long time, and so it was kind of beat up a little bit around the edges, so I did ink the edges. And so in some places I do have a little bit of inking, but just use some really old die cuts that were just in the drawer. Like I said, just kind of trying to bust some stuff out of my stash. And so simple, but this is the way it's going to be today. So I hope you enjoyed Scrapbooking with a Twist. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll see you real soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.